Fall is finally here. It's my favorite time of year. So I just had to celebrate and do a beautiful pumpkin spice makeup look. So if you want to see how to get this look here, then keep watching. I'll be doing my eyes first for this pumpkin spice inspired makeup look. And the first product I'll be using for my eye base is going to be the Nabla Cosmetics Cupid's Arrow Full Color Stylo, basically a matte pencil shadow stick. So this has been one of my favorite products for the last couple months. They make beautiful, beautiful bases for your eyeshadows to go on top, or you can just wear them alone. They're beautiful on their own. So they're very versatile. You can do many different things with them. I'm going to blend this out and use it as my base using a number 19 brush from Sephora. And this is just going to give me that caramelly, warm, brown base tone. I mean, dare we call this a pumpkin spice latte inspired makeup look? Because I mean, you know, like it's never been done before, but it's trending, so might as well call it both, right? So same thing, just gonna apply this all onto the base of my eyelid. It's like the bulk of my actual eyelid. Tap it on and then just gently blend it into the crease. They're just so easy to work with. And I don't know if you caught my Ulta Beauty savings event recommendations, but these were part of the sale. Hopefully you picked them up if you caught that day that they were on sale. These are just such a good buy. I bought mine full price a couple months ago at 18 bucks each, which is still completely reasonable in my opinion for a really good product, but they were on sale during the savings event for $9, which is an incredible deal. Okay, so that is just enough blending. Now I have a beautiful warm, spicy eye base going on. For my powder eyeshadows, I'll be using one of my favorites from Clé de Peau. This is a new one from them. It's a quad eyeshadow palette in the shade Beach Pebbles. Mine is deep potted. In case you're wondering, it came out of this deep potted palette courtesy of Clé de Peau, which is amazing and so unbelievably helpful. So mine is not actually in a case, but when you buy them, they come individually in like a case with a mirror. So just keep that in mind. Yours won't look like this if you end up purchasing it. So what I'm going to do is take a more flat brush. This is a BK Beauty 206 and dip into the most stunning neutral brown shade that has a hint of shimmer in it. And I'm going to place this directly on top of that eye base. And before we blend it out, I'm going to go directly onto the other eye. Grabbing that 19 brush again, I'm just going to gently blend this up into the crease. This is such a stunning shade. Now switching to a clean blending brush, this is a 227 from Jouer. I'm going to dip into this soft matte neutral shade and lightly blend this into the crease. And I'm going to warn you ahead of time, this really could just pass as a latte inspired makeup look. But wait till we get to the lip. The lip is going to be where the orange and the pumpkin come in. Now I'm gonna grab one of my favorite pencils of all time. I've had this in my makeup kit for years and years, not this exact one, but I've gone through many of these pencils from Urban Decay. All these pencils from Urban Decay are some of my favorites formula-wise, and also just like their tones, their shades are beautiful. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Bourbon. Bourbon, if you have not tried Bourbon or Whiskey or Roach, you're missing out. There's so many good ones from Urban Decay. So I'm gonna take this and I'm going to line right into my bottom lash line. And then from the bottom, we're gonna pull straight out to create a wing. Then using my finger just to thin that out. And same thing, repeat on the other eye, and then pulling it out. Now before we move on from eyeliner, I'm gonna grab another favorite of mine, and it is from Fenty Beauty. It's the Fly Liner, it's the liquid liner. It's in the shade In Big Trouble. I talk about this one all the time. And you know, for a pumpkin spice makeup tutorial, how can I not use this? It's like the richest, most caramelly red undertone brown. It's beautiful on. So I'm gonna use this on the top lash line now. Now what's going to happen is basically going to connect from the top into the bottom and kind of become one fluid liner. Now I have a little, there we go. It'd be a little frustrating when you're trying to make your wing liner so extremely tapered, like tapered to the point where like it just kind of disappears as it ends. You don't see like a sharp thick line where it's like where it obviously ends. It's like so tapered and so fine as it gets to the end that it's like one like little bit in the wrong place is gonna just ruin it basically. So kind of have to like slow it down and really take your time with the placement of this kind of liner. Okay, liner is done, almost. All right, feeling good about that. For mascara, let me grab a new one. This is from Lawless. It's the one and done mascara. I've had this one in the past. It's like a really thickening, super thickening mascara. I'm trying to hide the cap because my dogs chewed this one, but it's brand new and I don't want to not use it because of this, so I'm sorry. My dogs literally chewed the cap when I wasn't looking. It ended up on the floor somehow. You know, what are you gonna do? So before I do this, hold on, I'm feeling a little rusty. Let me curl my lashes with my Refer lash curler. Now we can get into the good part. This is the Lawless mascara. This formula is an extremely thickening formula. Like, it'll give you very thick, dramatic lashes. But also with this kind of formula, just gotta be careful because it can clump very quickly if you go too far with it. Okay, mascara is done. I'm gonna do a little bit of color correcting before I go in with my foundation, before I finish the rest of my bottom eye makeup. I'm gonna use the Star Bright from Half Caked. It's the brand Half Caked. It's the Star Bright. It's like a under eye color corrector. This is a really good formula. It's really inexpensive and they sell them on Amazon, so they're very like easily accessible. But the shade that I like the most currently is Bright Eyes. So Bright Eyes has like a nice peachiness to it. Easy to work with. So I just put this in the darkest spot of my under eye and I just tap it in. Just tap it. You can see too, like it really just blends right into my skin. It's not thick. It works well with all my concealer formulas, which I really love and appreciate. But it just gives like an instant, like very natural amount of color correction that I desperately need under my eye. And it just melts right into my skin. I think these are like $11 or $13. There's something like, they're extremely inexpensive and just a really good underrated formula. So now that I'm color corrected, I'm gonna take my 106 brush from BK Beauty, also known as my favorite brush of all time. And I'm gonna spray it with the Milani Make It Last original setting spray. The original has been my favorite. Milani actually sent me all their setting sprays and this has been my favorite, just like the OG original one. It's a great formula. So I have really been enjoying this technique. I love spraying my brush just lightly. I'm not soaking it. And then I'm gonna go in with one of my current favorite foundations. I have many new favorite foundations, which I'm gonna talk about in a separate video very soon. Like so many good formulas are out on the market right now and I'm so impressed. But this one, wow. This is like a wow, stunning foundation. It's from MAC. You know I love MAC. It's the Studio Radiance Serum Powered Foundation. Now just to warn you, if you're gonna pick this foundation up and try it, the shade ranges in this particular formula run a lot deeper than all their other formulas. So just keep that in mind. So if let's say you're an NC30, typically you're probably gonna be an NC20 now. This is NC20 for me. And normally in any other foundation at MAC, an NC20 is way too light for me. So just something to keep in mind and to know because it's a really good thing to know. I didn't know that at first when they sent me this in PR. I was like, why did they send me an NC20? And then I tried it and I was like, oh my God, this is borderline, maybe a touch dark. So the reason why I like this foundation so much is going into the colder weather months and it is starting to get chillier outside. It's like a lot colder in the morning when I wake up to go to work super early. So my skin always changes quite a bit when the weather changes, just like everyone else experiences this as well. So this foundation I feel like is going to be a really great formula for going into colder weather months or the colder weather season, like fall and winter. This is going to be a really nice feeling foundation, especially if you have dry skin. This is like a powerhouse of hydration and moisture on your skin. And it's just beautiful. The finish of it is beautiful. And it has a surprising, for like something that's so moisturizing and hydrating on your skin, surprisingly, the wear time, even without a primer, I don't have a primer, I just sprayed a little bit of the setting spray on my brush, but even without any primer, I've noticed it wears an incredibly long time. It stays put, it stays looking flawless, it doesn't get patchy throughout the day, it doesn't start to get bunched up or settle into any like fine lines or pores. It just looks smooth and skin-like. So really cannot speak highly enough of this foundation. It's currently on heavy rotation for me and I've just been loving it. Also, I'm really stoked to be wearing a MAC foundation again. I haven't worn one in years and I'm just excited. I'm excited to be loving a MAC foundation again. It's really fun. So I'm gonna continue to buff this in and really work it into my skin. It's just so pretty. Okay, feeling really good about that glow and really good about that coverage. Coverage is just, it's perfect. It's like the perfect amount of coverage. Such a fan. I can't get over this foundation. I'm so impressed by it. For my bronzer, this has been a favorite of mine. I don't talk about this a lot because it's kind of an expensive tool to use or to utilize as your bronzer or your contour. For me, I use this to just like sculpt and to generally warm up my skin and also to give it like a slight contoured effect. But it's not actually intended for that. It's a Clay to Pot concealer. It's in a much deeper shade. This is in the shade 11 Cocoa. The reason why I like to do this, well, first of all, this is something I've done in my makeup kit for years and years, not with this formula, but with just stick concealers in general, they give you, it's like a secret of mine, honestly. It gives you the most unbelievably flawless bronze look to your complexion. It just, since it's concealer, it's meant to really just melt into your skin. And what I like the most about this is there's no unevenness with the formula. The formulas are specifically meant, they're concealers. It's a concealer formula, like a full coverage concealer. So when you blend it into your skin, it blends in with zero patchiness. The pigmentation throughout is completely even. You can't say the same thing with bronzers. You can't say the same things with contour, because there's, you know, there's more times than not, there's like holes in the formula. So if you ever want just like the smoothest bronzer or contour that you could ever imagine that looks so flawless, use a full coverage cream concealer. This is one of my old school tips that I don't really share that often. It's like a secret in my makeup kit, but it just, wow. The effect of it is just, it's like nothing else. I'm gonna take a little bit more. I'm gonna put some on the side of my nose. It doesn't have to be perfect. I am gonna run this along my lips too. But you know what? It wouldn't be a Nikki makeup tutorial if I didn't. I'm all about being true to myself on this channel. So like it or not, if you don't like this step, and you're following along, absolutely just skip it. Same goes with anything. It's gonna roughly blend this out because I haven't done my brightening concealer yet, so it doesn't matter if my nose contour is messy because we're gonna go in and shape it even more with the concealer. It's just, I love the way this finish is on my skin. It just looks so, so flawless. A little more on the top by my hairline and by all my baby hairs that just wanna lay flat across my forehead. Try to hold them down, just blend this in. Now that we have that done, it's time to do concealer, like actual concealer under my eyes. If you caught my last Nikki Uncut, I talked about both these concealers. I'm not gonna go into detail about them in this video, but I am just gonna tell you that I ended up loving both. I love both. I think in that video, I did mention that I was leaning towards this one being like just better overall. I still am slightly more partial to this formula, but I've been forcing myself to wear this one almost every single day since filming that Nikki Uncut, just to really give it a good try and to just, you know, get more thoughts and insight of how it's gonna wear, how it creases, all those things, right? You know, you can't just test a concealer one day and expect to know everything about it. That's impossible. Long story short, I am really enjoying it. I love it. Love the coverage. Finish is great. I have the shade 21 medium neutral and it works really, really well on my skin. So I'm gonna apply this all along my under eye. This has a much thicker consistency than the Makeup by Mario, and I also mentioned that in that Nikki Uncut too. But you know, after these are blended out onto your skin, they really are, you know, they're very, very similar. So just something to keep in mind. I am gonna highlight my chin a little bit. We're gonna go for it with this tutorial. It's gonna be like a, you know, full-on makeup look. So I'm also gonna bring this just straight down the bridge of my nose and just a little bit between my forehead. There we go. Love the packaging too. I know it's not about the packaging, but you know I'm a sucker for packaging and I love good packaging, and I think this is just really sleek and really cool. To blend this out, I'm gonna use a 407 Deluxe Buffer from Half Caked and just start by tapping this in. And then with whatever's left over, sweep this and give my cheeks a little lift up. Now going back to my foundation brush, this is where you kind of melt things together. And back to blending out that concealer. Okay, switching gears to blush. One of my favorite blushes currently is from M Cosmetics. It's the Pillow Plush blush in the shade Peanut. Please don't judge how dirty this is because I have literally been wearing this almost every single day. It's been like a daily go-to. It's very soft, very neutral. It's not gonna steal the show from the eye makeup and the lip that's coming up, so it's perfect for what I'm going for. So it's also just perfect for every day, like I said, because it's like neutral, goes with anything. So I'm gonna apply this with just an angle brush from Beauty Bay. Very old school brush, or very old brush of mine. And just a soft amount of blush, nothing crazy. Just want a little bit peeking onto my cheek, but it's a really nice formula. Just enough to like differentiate my cheeks from the rest of my face. Even though you probably can differentiate it from a mile away because they're the biggest thing on my face. Blush is on. Next step is we need to set this under eye situation. So let me grab one of my favorite powders. Probably not a surprise, Cupcake from Huda Beauty. They did just send me their new pressed powder versions of these in the mail. They're sitting right next to me. I cannot wait to use these. In fact, hold on. Let me just show you because the PR box is so cute. Don't worry, it's gonna come up in another video. I promise you, I'll be using these very, very soon. I promise. But can we just enjoy together how cute this PR package was? Came with like little stickers and a whole thing of powder puffs. Tons and tons of my favorite powder puffs. So I need a new clean powder puff. Let me just take that. And we're gonna set the under eyes with the loose version. So taking that puff, working into my hand, But before I do, let's just make sure we don't have any creasing, which we really have like minimal creasing with that Haus Labs. It's really, I'm telling you, it's a really nice formula. Just gonna set very lightly, just lock that in. Now, time for a really old school product. I talked about this a lot, or I have talked about this a lot. It's always gonna be a favorite of mine. This is Global Glow from MAC. You know, you gotta have a mix of like new products, new launches, with like old faithfuls that you just know are going to perform and look amazing on your skin. And for me, this is one of those products that I know is going to look just like butter on my skin. So I'm gonna grab one of my favorite BK Beauty brushes. It's a 104. This is a big fluffy brush. This is gonna deposit a soft, natural amount of this product. And I'm really looking for an all over glow with this. It's just stunning. You just can't go wrong with Global Glow. If MAC ever got rid of it, and please don't tell me in the comments that it's being discontinued. I will cry. I will give up on YouTube and makeup. Just buff this on top. Just, it's like healthy glow in an instant, you know? So like fake it till you make it. If you don't have glowy skin naturally, this will give you it. Just across my nose, across my forehead, you know, just all over. It's a very forgiving product too, I should say. So don't be afraid, even if you have like larger pores. It's not one of those products like those highlighters that have chunky glitter in them. It may look like it, but it's a very soft baked highlighter. So the end result is it just looks nice and smooth. Even if you have like more texture on your skin, don't be afraid to use it. We're gonna go back to the Cupid's Arrow from Nabla and run a touch of this on the bottom lash line just to round out my eye shape. Now with an Angie Hot and Flashy A504, one of my favorite brushes, I'm gonna blend that out. So pretty. And I'm gonna go back to this soft matte shade and just blend this into that pencil. This is like a very signature makeup look of mine, but the lip is what's gonna be different from what you see on my channel. Okay, that is on. Now I'm gonna take one of my favorite drugstore eyeliners. This is Mighty Mocha from Revlon. It's the So Fierce Vinyl eyeliner. This is a very long wearing, super pigmented, gel-like pencil liner. So I'm gonna tight line with this. So I'm gonna pop this right into my top lashes. Tight lining is done. It's subtle, but it definitely makes a difference, I'm telling you. Now for my last bit of complexion products, I'm gonna add a little bit of powder bronzer. This is also from Haus Labs. It's the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in the shade Medium Level 6. Same brush, nothing wrong with that. We'll dip into this powder bronzer. Just add a little extra warmth and dimension to the very top of my forehead. Sweep it down the side of my nose. All right, bronzing is done, if you can believe it. We're gonna move on to lip, and I'm so excited to share this lip combo. I actually wore this in one of my videos on Instagram. Well, I also post this on YouTube as well. So, but if you follow me on Instagram or if you follow me on TikTok, I did a 15-day series of 15 different eyeshadow looks. In one of those videos, I wore this particular lip combo, and a lot of you asked about it, and I feel bad because I didn't actually tell you what it was. So I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna make up for it. I'm gonna tell you now what it is. It is Cool Brown Lip Liner from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This was recommended by one of my subscribers, so thank you to whoever you are. You still have not told me who you are. I try to reach out and figure out who recommended this to me because I wanted to thank them. So if you're out there and you're seeing this, please leave me a comment so I can say thank you, because this pencil is absolutely stunning. So I'm going to apply this, of course, on the lip. Now, of course, I'm going to go in and blend it out. And next the bottom. Same thing, gonna blend it out. Okay, now for the star of this lip combo, it's the Huda Beauty Lip Blush. These are supposed to be like a lip stain / cheek stain. I don't like them on the cheeks at all, but on the lips, they are very nice. This is a shade Peachy Kiss, and Peachy Kiss is quite stunning. So Peachy Kiss is gonna go directly on top. It's just, it screams fall. The finishing step to this lip combo is very fitting for this makeup look. It's the shade Pumpkin Pie Latte. It's from Buxom. It's their plumping, like their OG plumping lip gloss formula. These are fantastic. If you want like a good lip plumper and you don't mind the tingle, these are amazing. So I'm gonna layer this on top. Smells like a delicious pumpkin pie candle. I'm gonna tap this on. But really just the center, I'm not gonna put it all over. finishing step, one more spray of the Milani Make It Last setting spray. And that's a finishing step in this pumpkin spice makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. I love doing looks like this. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like videos like this, you can click on this next one right here and I'll see you soon. Bye.